Well, there's a brand new study just out that seems to shed light on what, well, it's an old problem. Researchers at New York University say 4 words: bosses just don't listen. According to the findings, the more power someone has in the workplace, the less likely they are to listen to anybody else's advice. With us now, one of the authors of that study, a professor of management at New York University, Elizabeth Morrison. You hear it, a common complaint from working people: the boss doesn't listen to me. You actually have conducted the study and found that essentially it's true.
Exactly. It's not that, I wouldn't go so far as to say that bosses never listen, but what we did find is that when people feel powerful, there's this tendency to feel very confident in your own judgments. Where that becomes dangerous is that that confidence can lead you to be so certain in your own judgment that you discount and don't take in advice from other people. And what we found is that when people do that, they actually make poor decisions.
And what are the implications of all that?
The implications is, that if you are closing yourself off from advice and assuming that you have all of the answers, then in all but those cases where you truly do have the right answer, which is a rare situation, there's a danger in not appropriately adjusting your own judgment, your own viewpoints to take into account other points of view.
And does this apply not just in business, but say in military affairs, for instance?
Absolutely. Business, government, and if you think about the far-reaching implications of the decisions that people, whether they're heads of corporations or in high-ranking government positions, the implications of the types of decisions that they need to make, I think that's where the implications of this become really important.
We live in a world now where you've got the internet, you've got all kinds of communications, so there's information flowing,
right.
but your research suggests that the bosses aren't necessarily getting it from the people they need it. I mean, how do you fix that? Because in a big organization, for instance, you can't listen to everybody. You can't take advice from the mailroom clerk as well as the vice president.
Right. And I would certainly, so one of my messages to anyone in a position of authority is you have to be able to filter out and think thoughtfully about what is good advice and what's perhaps advice that is less relevant. But at the same time, recognizing this tendency to feel overconfident when you're in a position of power, recognizing the danger that that can get you into when you're just overly dismissive of input from anyone.
So I can go to the bosses here at Fox News and tell them to listen to me more often. Is that what the takeaway is? Elizabeth Morrison from New York University. Thank you.
Thank you.